Man, okay, so I got the chance to watch Venom, Let There Be Carnage. And what do I think about the movie? I'm gonna give my review on it, and I'm basically just gonna talk about the movie and just pretty much the things I like. Obviously, this video won't be. Oh no, this video. Obviously, if you don't know much about Carnage, this video will obviously be containing spoilers. Venom in this movie, obviously, I will be containing spoiler. This video will contain spoilers for Venom and Carnage both. Pretty much, the video is going to have spoilers here and there. I will not be talking about the post-credit scene because I want you guys to experience that for yourself. It was mind-blowing, and sadly, TikTok ruined it for me. But still being able to watch it in the theaters was great. It was a great experience. You're going to enjoy this movie. So, what did I think about Venom, Let There Be Carnage? This movie is so much better than the first one. Everything that made, this film is pretty much everything that the first film did really good with the relationship between Venom and Eddie. And obviously, the nurse is going crazy for She-Venom, which she does make an appearance, but not for long. It's just literally like 5 seconds and she leaves. Obviously, the cast is great. The visual effects is great. Woody Harrelson as Cletus Cassidy and Carnage is great. The relationship between Eddie and Venom are great. Everything in this movie is so much better than the first one. You guys pretty much have no idea. And exactly like the first one, this film starts off slow. It gets you to it pretty much reintroduces you to Eddie Brock 2 years later. We get to see the state that Eddie and Venom are in 2 years later. Obviously, the apartment looks like crap. Eddie's life is crap until Cletus wants Eddie to pretty much do an interview with him. And that is and this is how the film pretty much starts. He gets the interview, not much, but they also introduce us to Shriek, who is Cletus Cassidy's girlfriend. Cletus tries to get a message out to her saying that, hey, he's still alive and not dead. He hasn't forgotten about her after being told for years that her boyfriend has forgotten about her, and that he's still alive. And Venom notices something that's in Cletus Cassidy's room, and it's pretty much all these drawings on the wall, and you don't really know if it's from Cletus Cassidy's actual nails, actual fingers, or if he had a pencil and was literally carving, which honestly, if it's a pencil, that's nuts. But the way that Cletus Cassidy is in this movie, honestly, I would rather be more afraid than Cletus Cassidy than the Joker. And even in the comics, they actually did that, to where Joker was actually more to where he realized that Carnage was worse than him. He was disgusted about Carnage. And I really like the way that they did the origin for Cletus in this movie. I think that the way that they did it was great, and I like the relationship, kind of the back and forth between Eddie and Venom in this movie. And I didn't really think that, the thing is, I really like comic books, but for some reason, I never really thought that I would need a comic book movie like this. I didn't realize I would need a movie like this, because this movie is so good. It reminds me so much of Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. It reminds me so much about the Sam Raimi films and how they had no problem being ridiculous. They didn't care how ridiculous it was. You were here to see Spider-Man, and just like in this film, you didn't care how ridiculous Venom was. You were here to see Venom. You were here to see Eddie. You were here to see Carnage. It doesn't matter how crazy or ridiculous it gets in this film. You were here to see these characters. And this is literally a comic book film brought to life. You never would have thought that we would ever see Carnage, but we did. We got the chance to see Carnage fully going out, being who he is, Carnage. And it just fits so well within this universe, and everything that they've done with this movie, it's so much better than the first one. Now, I'm not a fan of the Shriek character. I think she was really underutilized, and in this movie, I don't really think that Anne and the other dude were really needed to be in this movie, because it just solely feels like an Eddie Brock, Cletus Cassidy movie. It doesn't feel like these side characters need to be in the movie. Honestly, if it's just Tom Hardy and Woody Harrelson in this movie, I think people would still go and watch it, even if maybe there's 2 other people in the on the cast. I think people would still go out to see it and really enjoy this movie. No one's here to see Anne. No one's here to see Shriek. We're here to see Carnage and Venom, and that's what we get in this film. We get to see Venom. We get to see Carnage in the way that they are. And I'm going to talk about one particular scene, and this, I think, was the only kind of problem that I had in the scene. So I'm going to talk about it. I know I might get some backlash off of this, but obviously a lot of hardcore comic book fans might crap on this as well. So just a few days before I got to see this movie, there was an article that came out, and I read it. I was confused by it. I was like, this article has to be fake. And so the day later, guess what I see? I see people talking about this article. They're talking about this news from this article that came out for Venom with the Carnage. And I was like, are you kidding me? There's no way that this article is out because it's so ridiculous. Why would they, yeah, Venom is meant to be ridiculous. This movie is meant to be ridiculous, but not in this sort of sense. And if you saw in the trailers or in the promo, TV promos and all that, Venom essentially goes to a party. And essentially, the article states that Venom in this movie gets his coming out party. If you don't know what that is, it's basically people, essentially, Venom in this movie is gay. That's all I'm going to say. Venom in this movie is gay. It makes no sense whatsoever. How could why is this even a thing? Why do we even have to think about Venom having a coming out party? I'm not going to really talk about it because I'm already annoyed enough and I know I'm going to get crap for it. But honestly, who in their right mind would think about that? I shared this on Instagram. I was really annoyed about this article. And if you saw that Instagram post, you know how furious I was for that. And the fact that they did a coming out party for Venom, it's just it's just okay, yeah, we like the scene that they had it in, okay, fine, whatever, but Venom, this is Venom we're talking about. Why is that a thing? It doesn't really make any sense, and it's just kind of more disturbing when you know what's gonna happen in the post-credit scene when Venom's like, "Ooh, yummy," or that guy looks tasty, or something. It's just so weird. It just doesn't make any sense why he has to be like that. If you're gonna come up with a character like a symbiote that happens to be gay, just make a whole other character. Don't use Venom and everything. And it's just kind of weird in that sort of sense. And I know I said I wasn't gonna talk about it, but I am. But the thing is, I wasn't really bothered by the scene because I already knew what was in the scene. And I didn't really think about it much. So, honestly, the whole scene of Venom doing his coming out party, I didn't really care. I didn't really care about it. I was just okay, whatever. It is what it is. I'm annoyed about it, but I just take it for what it is. It is what it is, And honestly, there was more to the article, which I'm not going to get into because that just makes me more annoyed with the people behind this. But honestly, I enjoy this movie. Even though he had a coming out party, I don't care. I didn't really care about that. The whole point of this film is to see Venom and Carnage go at it. And obviously, it's a great movie. This movie is a great movie. Besides that one small complaint that I have about this movie, with it making no sense that Venom is now what he is, it doesn't make any sense to me. But besides that, it's just a small, simple complaint that I'm not going to drag it on and just be oh, this is so stupid, it doesn't make any sense, because I've already made my point on social media. I wasn't happy about it. So, anyhow, this movie is great. Like I said, it's pretty much the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, but with Venom. And it's great. It's a great movie. It's fun. If you like the first one, you're gonna love it. If you didn't like the first one, if you thought it was alright, you're gonna think this one's alright. But the whole difference between this film is that you can tell that there is a difference. It's brighter, it's more ridiculous. You already love the relationship between Venom and Eddie, and you get more of that in this film. So what I'm gonna say for Venom Let There Be Carnage, what the rating is, what do I think, essentially think about it, it's better. It's a better Venom movie than the first one. in the rating, I'm gonna give it a 5-star rating. This movie, pretty much a 9 point, and obviously a 9.5 out of 10. This movie is great. I enjoyed Venom, Let There Be Carnage. So anyway, that is my review. Honestly, I didn't really think I was needing this kind of comic book movie, and I'm glad that it exists. So anyway, besides that, I'm gonna tell you guys, go watch this movie. Enjoy the first one, go watch it. If you just want to have fun watching a movie, go watch it. And especially the post-credit scene. You want to stay for it. So anyway, that is my review on Venom, Let There Be Carnage. See you all next time. Peace out.